We got that sign over there, or we haven't got it. Uh,
April the 25th, 2023, called meeting to order. Can we get the approval of the agenda for the April 25th, 2023 regular meeting? Moved by Councillor Knoll, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. And can we get the adoptions of the minutes of the regular council meeting of April the 11th, 2023? Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Business arising from the minutes. Okay, we'll move on to number 5, proclamations, presentations, delegations. We have 2 proclamations here today. I will read them and we'll get a mover and a seconder. Proclamation for Mental Health Week 2023. Whereas CMHA Mental Health Week promotes mental health awareness through education campaigns, activities, and events held across Newfoundland and Labrador, and offers practical ways to maintain and improve mental health and support recovery from mental health problems and illnesses. Whereas the Canadian Mental Health Association encourages everyone to share their story by using the hashtag MyStory and Mental Health Week to shine a light on your personal journey, a program you offer, and how your community supports the mental health of others. Whereas increased awareness and understanding of mental health will promote the use of mental health services and supports and ensure Canadians with mental health related illnesses are afforded the opportunity to recover. Whereas the Canadian Mental Health Association actively supports and encourages good mental health in all aspects of our lives during the CMHA Mental Health Week and throughout the year. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Frank Butt, Mayor of Town of Carbonear, do hereby proclaim the week of May 1st to the 7th, 2023 as CMHA Mental Health Week. I encourage all citizens to join me and share your story by using hashtag MyStory and Mental Health Week to shine a light on the personal journey, a program you offer, and how your community supports the mental health of others. Dated this April the 25th, 2023. Moved by Councillor Snow, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Our second proclamation is Volunteer Week 2023. Whereas the Town of Carbonear recognizes the enormous contribution that volunteers and community organizations make to the social, cultural, and economic development of our province, and whereas it has been recognized that volunteers in Newfoundland and Labrador have a significant and positive impact on the quality of life for our citizens, and whereas the Town of Carbonear acknowledges the theme Volunteering weaves us together for Volunteer Week 2023 and recognizes the many people who contribute to our town by volunteering. Therefore, we sign this proclamation and declare the period of April 16th to the 22nd in 2023 be observed as Volunteer Week in the Town of Carbonear, dated this 25th day of April 2023. Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Knoll. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. And move on, number 6, permits and correspondence.
If everybody could take a look at their slide number 5 in their Dropbox, I'm going to make a motion to approve some permits. There is one conflict there. Councillor Slade is going to declare a conflict on a permit for the Carbonear Harbor Authority, as he is a member of that. So I'm going to make a motion to approve permit listing 10164 to 10175.
Can we,
So Deputy Mayor would have to make that declaration, I guess.
no, not this one here, Deputy Mayor.
No, but-
We're going to vote on the other ones apart
yes.
from that one.
But, yeah, but he would have to speak to that, right?
After this one.
No, he.
Yes, she's only going to 101.75.
Yeah, we're not
You can
including
state that after.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying.
He has to state it.
He has to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
State it, yes.
Okay, moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. Okay. Deputy Mayor is leaving because he is a member of the Carbonear Harbor Authority.
And make a motion to approve permit 10176.
And seconded by Councillor Knoll. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. Deputy Mayor is going to get called back in. Oh, yes. 6.3, correspondence received and action taken. You can have a look down through there. All right, move on. Number 7, committee reports, administration and finance. Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recreation minutes are in your Dropbox, number 6. Administration, does you agree? Sorry about that, Administration and Finance Committee. A few things I'll bring to your attention there. Let me see here. So we're still working on some committee policies. So I think a couple of those have been special events and the recreation, I guess, commission. So the committees are still looking at those. So we'll discuss those, I guess, a bit later. I got a couple of motions. We have a motion for the grant for the Carbonear Heritage Society. Resolved to issue the grant to the amount of $2,500 for the Carbonear Heritage Society, plus their designated share of ticket sales.
Can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
There was another, we had a request from the Newfoundland Public Libraries Board. They've launched a partnership program. They call it NLPL Connect Pass. So they asked us if we would participate. This looks like a very good program. It's I guess it's designed for people who face, I guess, some financial difficulties and things, but they allow their user, the library users, with their library card, they can use their library card to access other resources in other communities as a partner program. Really, they could, go to, I think, the Growlers hockey team is, you can go to a Growlers game, once I think they get like once a year for a family, or they can go to I guess a gallery, a science center, recreation facility, different events. So they've asked the town of Carbonear if we would participate with our museums and allow them access to, the museums right now. And so we thought it was a great idea. And then the people from the patrons of the Carbonear Library, they can go to other places as well and access once per year with their library card. So we thought it was a great program, so, I don't think, we recommend that, we participate in that program. I think that's all I was going to discuss. I'm not sure if I have any more motions here. I don't think I do. That's it for me.
6A?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the motion for
Oh,
the
there is a motion.
library participation.
Second now. Let me see here. We're going at the end here. Yeah, okay, I got it. Yes, okay, is that information sharing one you're referring to? Yeah, okay.
6A.
Was it?
6A.
Oh, it's one at the end there as well.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so resolve to participate with Newfoundland Public Library Connect Pass program by providing tickets to the town of Carbonear museums in accordance with the Connect Pass guidelines.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Councillor Doyle. Discussion?
A good thing for people listening is the Connect Pass is free. So
Yeah.
can't get a better deal than that. So I encourage people to take full advantage of it. If you have a library card. If you don't have a library card, it's pretty easy to have a library card.
Good point, yeah. Join your local library. So that motion at the end, that's not part of this, right? That's, we'll deal with that one later.
Just to point out too, the other thing that was discussed in the committee for that was that that's something that will encourage, I guess, people to possibly come and visit our community that have a library card from outside of Carbonear, that, it might encourage visitors to our community. So that was the other, they felt it was another benefit of
Yeah,
that
that's right. It'd be a
program.
province-wide initiative, right? So any library user can go to other communities, right? So, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Contrary motion passed.
That's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions for Councillor O'Grady? Go ahead there, Councillor Snow. Oh, thought you were... All right, move on to 7B, Public Works, Waste Management, and Community Services. Deputy Mayor Slade.
Mr. Mayor, the minutes of the meeting is there for council to peruse. There's nothing there that, no motions or anything to come forward out of that set of minutes there, but if council have any questions, please feel free to ask.
I just think it's not really a question, it's feedback, maybe it's a bit of a question. So, we posted the expressions of interest for Banker's Pub on our website, and it's been sent to like commercial real estate agents and stuff like that. However, I do think we need to put some signage on it saying that it is for sale. Please contact the appropriate personnel at the town of Carbonear. And I think that it needs to be set up on probably at least a bi-weekly, review. Like, we shouldn't just post it on social media one time and be done with it. Like, we need to post it bi-weekly until it sells. And, the more publicity we can get around selling it, hopefully the quicker, someone will see it and be interested in it, and we can go from there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, this is on another point.
Okay, anyway, I think that's a great idea to put some kind of signage on the building. And also we say to keep it in there. And whatever we got there to communicate, Facebook or whatever the case may be interested in seeing it move. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I also saw, I'm sure I saw it on this, the date for the cleanup day. Did I see that there on this? I'm sure I saw it.
I believe that was correspondence.
Oh, it was on correspondence received? Okay, so that's our cleanup day for the town, correct? Our Saturday cleanup day?
I'll have to double check to see.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I guess in reference to that, and under correspondence from that resident about their concerns with the community beach on the lower south side in particular. I also think that the town of Carbonear needs to do some public service announcements about what people should be flushing down the toilet. There's a lot of things over on that beach, like blue tampon applicators. The beach is absolutely full of it. Those are not things that should be flushed down a toilet, nor plastic, or those like disposable gloves and stuff like that. None of that should be going down toilets into the harbors and oceans. They should be going in the garbage. So like, I think we need to, as unfortunate and as terrible as that sounds, I think, maybe some people don't know that. and we need to do like our part in trying to prevent as much stuff that's going out through that sewer intake as currently is happening.
Just to add to that, Councillor Doyle, we did bring that up, and we had a lengthy discussion on it, and there was a couple of things there that we were going to pursue on it. As for what was actually getting flushed out through the sewers and this, that, and other thing, and floating up on our beaches. But anyway, to make the long story short, there was a resident over in that area who had some complaints about the condition of the beach and one thing and another. And of course, we looked at that, and we should have a World's Ocean Day coming up fairly soon, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to remove some of that debris that's up there. Now, how long it's going to be gone out of it, I don't know, because as you know, the sea has quite of action in that area, and you'll have it cleaned up one day, and next day it'll be just bad again. So, but, it'll be ongoing, and we'll do whatever it takes to keep the beach clean.
I think keeping it clean is one thing, but there's also an education piece. The more important part is the education piece, because if people stop flushing those kinds of things down there, then it won't wash up on the beaches. So, like, it's kind of a two-part thing that needs to happen there.
And I guess that can be added to the waste management component of the committee for further review and discussion.
Yep, absolutely.
No further questions? Comments? Thank you, dear Deputy Mayor.
That's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Move on to number 7C, development.
Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead. The Development Committee met on April the 20th. We have a number of motions regarding refusal for an accessory building. We've got some new businesses, and I do want to, our MEO was at our last meeting, and it was the first time the MEO had been at a meeting in a little while. He didn't have a report because he'd been on vacation, and he was following up on a couple of things. I want to point out that I have a very difficult time as a resident and as a town councillor when I see employees of the town bullied and intimidated for doing their job on social media. And often people who are criticizing employees of the town, they often don't know the roles and responsibilities involved in the duties of those particular people who are doing their jobs. And I think that the onus is on everybody in this room, councillors and staff, sometimes to say, this is not acceptable. And I commend our municipal enforcement officer in particular for not being, not taking some of this, to heart, because he's certainly in a very difficult position in enforcing rules. Now, he might not even agree with the rules, but as a municipality and as a province, he's upholding the rules and regulations in which we hired him for. And I just don't I find it very difficult to see when he's being ripped apart on social media for doing a job for the residents of our community in upholding our rules and regulations. I noticed that he is retiring, and that his job has been shared today and posted. What?
Details.
Oh, sorry. I was there, sorry. Under strategic plan, we're hoping that the date for the public presentation of that will happen very, very, very soon. This has been a long process, and hopefully there'll be some advertisements regarding that coming up. Okay, let's get into our motions. Resolve to approve the following applications in accordance with applications submitted, the Town of Carbonear Municipal Plan, and development regulations and other conditions as specified. To operate a new business, ice cream, snacks, bistro, and takeaway at 183 Water Street, conditional upon requirements of the Heritage Zone, and further conditional upon receipt of approval from the Department of Digital Government and Service NL and other applicable government departments and agencies. To operate a home-based business, excavating, from no fixed address at 144 Valley Road, conditional upon no objections or representations being received from the discretionary use advertisement, and further conditional upon the application being referred to committee and council for further review if objections are received in response to the discretionary notice. And the final one, to construct a greenhouse at 41 Mahaney's Lane.
Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolved to refuse the following applications: to construct a garage at number 2 Ash Avenue as the development is not in compliance with the Town of Carbonear development regulations.
And can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Other than that, we have, you can notice, like, under ongoing items, I know we have quite a long list there, and it's been quite a long list for quite a long time. We're working through trying to either, work through some of these or get them off our list. Under the development applications, like the ones that you see listed there, we're still waiting for people to decide if they're going ahead with those applications or not. I think some of them, the Director of Operations is still trying to problem solve some ways for them to do what they want to do in the space that they have. And under business applications, you see a number of ones there. Some of them will hopefully come off soon because the applications have gone through the progress and the EDTO has sent it on to Service NL for their approval. And that's it for now. That's it for us.
Any questions for Councillor Doyle? Thank you. And we'll move on, number 7D, Recreation, Special Events, Culture, and Tourism. Councillor Seymour.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for listening in. If there's anyone out there, I hope there's lots of them. It was a great meeting. We were discussing a lot of different things, but anyway, recreation today is, I have the EDTO, I also have the Recreation Director here, and I have the Public Works Director. If there's anything other than what I got to say, you can ask all of us, and hopefully we can fill in all the blanks if need to be. But there is a motion I need to bring forward, and other than that, after that, I bring the motion forward. You can ask me any questions afterwards. And the motion is for recreation this day, resolved 1. Resolved to contract urban forester, to prepare the planting areas, including providing plants and other materials in accordance with the conditions provided by the town per the quote received in the amount of $13,440 plus HST, and be it further resolved to contract urban forestry to provide weekly maintenance in accordance with the condition provided for 16 weeks for an amount not exceeding $980 plus HST per week. I do so move.
Moved by Councillor Seymour, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All
Sorry, I have some questions. So last year, there was a lot of feedback in that stuff wasn't weeded. throughout the summer, particularly over in the Pergola area, all that EnviroFest area where the shrubs are too. There's all kinds of weeds growing up through it. It really needs some new mulch, plus the seeding that needs to be done over there, that's not done yet. The weeding in the beds downtown, there was a lot of weeds growing up through, I think that they're the community or the town of Carbonear maintain beds. So is that all of that included in the quote to look after that for this summer? Yes? Okay. On a regular basis?
On a regular, weekly basis.
So the seeding, all that is incorporated into the contract.
Okay.
And the seeding one is separate, which is being brought forward from last fall. It didn't get
Yep.
completed.
Okay.
Once they start, they'll get that completed as well.
Okay, perfect. Because I think it's great that we have a lot of green areas, but having green areas is also very costly, because in order to have green areas, you have to maintain them. But, good.
Any further discussion? Councillor Snow?
We put out some lovely planters and things, but, if you get a hot, dry summer, the soil dries out and it gets very light, and then you get wind, and a lot of times the planters end up on their side. I don't know if this year, if they could put some weight in the bottom of the planters to head that
Already.
problem off. It's already been discussed.
Already been discussed, all that, like when you're talking about your soil, and I've got it over there, and the filling of our flower pots, leaving them out an extra month this year compared to what we did last year. All that's been discussed as we went through our meetings. We've seen our little flaws that we had over the last year or two, so this year we changed those flaws and tried to add to it to make it a little bit better. So open the flowers will be out there longer, the greener spaces will get done, the garbage, and all this we picked up more and more often. We've looked at all of it, so hopefully everything will.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I'd like
Deputy Mayor.
the job that those guys done last year, I think was absolutely fabulous. And I mean, I'm one of the guys that drives down through the street very, very early in the mornings to pursue my occupation. And, you'd see him out around. You'd see him going with the water and that, and up around the planters, and they done a super job. Now, what Councillor Doyle just said there, I'm sure we say, we can get some of that picked up this year to clean it up and that. And, but I got to say that was money that was well spent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Councillor Bonnet, motion passed. Any questions for Councillor Seymour? Thank you, sir. Let's move on now to number 8, the reports of the CAO.
There's a financial report in your Dropbox. That's there for everybody to take a look at. There's no significant change except the numbers are updated since my last report. So I won't go through them all. You've all had an opportunity to take a look at it. So, like I said, if you got any questions at any time, please feel free to contact me if you need clarification on anything within the report.
Any questions for the CAO? Thank you. We'll move on to number 8B, Director of Recreation. Mr. Budden.
So number 11 there in your Dropbox. Just a quick little update, as most of the stuff that I've been dealing with is kind of in your committee report. So just to kind of give you a quick snap. So there's been some ongoing work with the Universal Family Change at the pool. As we know, we had some issues with our plumbing and our drains from water collection. There has been, that is near completion. There's been a little bit of delay as the work commenced based on timeline receiving the product. However, the tiles needed to be replaced on the floor haven't arrived yet, so we're waiting for those to get here. They were on a plane supposed to arrive last Friday, still haven't arrived, so I was talking to them this morning. So they're going to keep me updated as to when we will receive those tiles to finish the floor off. Everything else is in place, just need those tiles to pull in so people don't trip up their things. Number 2 there, seasonal staff are being called for next week, so our spring cleanups and our outdoor facilities will be prepared for use. With regards to the pool, here on the revenue side, we're still, our numbers are up from last year at this point, which is a good sign. Things are moving along, there's lots of use of facilities. One item at our pool that we're kind of impressed with, we added a family swim on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, which has been very well attended, and it's been a great uptake. So it's good to see that we were able to satisfy some need. I know there's still some people suggesting that we need some other swims in there, which we're looking at to try to see if we can put in our schedule, and what the need actually is. So those things are being investigated, and we'll add accordingly and adjust accordingly as we can. For now, what we see, we're very impressed with the people that are using our facility. To end off, I guess, there are the programs and grants or annual award applications have been submitted. We have a review of those applications this week, and the presentation event will be determined in the near future to give those awards to the successful applicants. And just, I guess there's real no update yet. The Recreation Master Planning is still waiting on the final report. We did receive some key finding things that was discussed with us, but the actual final report that we presented to council is still ongoing, which hopefully soon. I was talking to her last week, so they're getting close to the end of finalizing that. For me, if there's any questions.
Any questions for Director?
I just want to make a quick comment. Under number 2, the seasonal staff are being called back next week. I leave school and I drive back and forth lunchtimes and stuff. Playground is full of kids. Swings gone mad. So it was kind of nice to see that, we didn't have to wait for the staff to come on for the playgrounds to be fully utilized. So it's good to see. And I noticed kids in playing soccer this afternoon. Kids were there playing basketball. So it's good to see we don't have to wait for those kinds of things to be set up.
And you're right, the facility in there in the last 3-4 weeks has been, people are getting out now that the weather's starting to clear up a little bit and snow is all gone, and basketball courts or hockey rinks, even the skate park has been used the last little while, so it's good to see people out around.
I just want to ask Rob one. I've had a couple of people who've wrote me and stuff and everything, and I directed them to here at council. I told them direct it to the staff. Is there any timeline on when the pool with the new drainage system we put in? Is there any timeline on when that would be finished?
With regards to the change room, you mean?
Hmm?
With regards
The
to
drain.
the change room?
Yeah.
There's been some delays. They're waiting on tiles. That's what I said earlier first.
Good.
So they were supposed to be here last Friday. They still haven't arrived. So as soon as they're in,
All right.
they'll be put in place.
That's all I want to know. Thank you, women.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on now to number 8C, Director of Operations and Public Works. Mr. Farrell.
We're also getting back into the swing of spring and summer. We've dialed back our winter schedule a great amount. We don't have our evening shifts on or weekend shifts now, but we are ready in case we get colder temperatures, because we're still only floating around 2, 3, 4 degrees as a daily high. Our seasonal laborers are back. We're mostly spending their time fixing up plow damage from the winter, and as the temperatures improve, we'll get back into asphalt recycling and get some potholes fixed too. We recently called for tenders for the HVAC service contracts. That's still open. That closes next week, I believe. So basically, I've been using this time to update council on capital works projects more than anything. So that's ramping up too, which is great. Water Street Phase 3, the RFPs are finalized. I got the final scores today. So for our next council meeting, we should have a recommendation from the Public Works Committee on the award for that. So that's the section of Water Street that's past construction that's happening now. Water Street Phase 2, of course, that construction has started. Adelaide Phase 2, the pre-design activities have taken place in the field, so we're waiting on the design work. So that'll be submitted to us in due course. We're getting ready to call the RFP for water system vulnerability study. Grassy Lane. The field work has started for that one, and that should be finished soon. It's not finished yet, I don't think, but then the design will take place, and we'll go ahead with the tender call for that one when time comes. Adelaide Phase 1, my note here in the report is waiting update from the contractor, but I got an email on that since, and I think they're planning on starting up the 8th of May. And then we've got the 2022 paving program and Paul Drive Phase 2. We're waiting on an update from the contractor on construction, to resume construction for those ones.
Any questions for Director of Operations? Thank you, sir. All right, moving along. Number 9, A, operating invoices over $2,000. Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Operating invoices are in your Dropbox, number 13. So resolved to approve operating invoices totaling $118,700.93.
Can we get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary, motion passed.
And we have one capital invoice, so it's capital invoice for Water Street landscaping for Phase 2. Harrison Associates, invoice number 7035 in the amount of $8,297.25.
And can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary, motion passed. Okay, move on. Number 10, regulations on. Number 11, notice of motion 0. Number 12, new business, Department of Digital Government and Service, NL, re-information sharing agreement.
Okay, that's an agreement that the town would enter into with the province, and it allows, I guess, their enforcement officer to obtain information required for, different regulations pertaining to ticketing, I guess, non-moving violations, different things associated with that. So it allows access to information in their system with respect to vehicle information that's required to include on the ticket form, things like that. So again, they've sent out the agreement to they'll release that information, but we have to sign an agreement because it's personal information that's that they're sharing with us. So we've had this before. He would call in, get the information, but that'll be available now electronically through their system. So.
Perfect.
Is this something that they signed, and you said it came before, but like, is this something that we agree to annually, or is there like any pattern to us signing this, or is this a one-time thing now, or?
Yeah, this is, like, we would sign this now for the province to provide this information.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And then that's it, we don't, like, it's not an annual renewal, like, where we agree to this every year or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
no, unless there's changes to the circumstances, I guess, but.
Somebody know.
We discuss the motion after, or?
Your microphone. There is a motion for that.
Okay, the motion hasn't been seconded or anything, has it?
No, it hasn't been made.
And so we're open discussion for it now?
No, we can make the motion and then discuss it if you want to.
Okay.
So who would like to make a motion on that?
I'll read the motion, I guess, if you want. Resolved to approve the signing of the information sharing agreement between the Town of Carbonear and Department of Digital Services, NL, Digital Government Service, NL, of the Governor of Newfoundland and Labrador, to allow the sharing of personal information for the Town of Carbonear Municipal Enforcement for the purposes of issuing violation notices, issuing tickets, issuing orders and pursuing fines or legal action against the registered vehicle or off-road vehicle owner, and for the provision of information for enforcement of related acts and regulations. And further resolved to approve the mayor and the town clerk to sign the agreement on behalf of the Town of Carbonear.
Moved by Councillor Snow.
I second that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor O'Brien, excuse me, and seconded by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? Councillor Noah?
Yeah, I just wondering about the, like, our municipal enforcement officer is very busy as it is now. Like, are we setting up an expectation of more enforcement with signing this agreement? You said we had it in place before,
No,
but, you know, are we setting ourselves up our expectation from the public? It almost sounds like something a small police force would be doing to me, but I don't know.
no, this is just to do what he's been doing. He needs this information, but the province, due to, I guess, access to information and privacy, they require this document to be signed, and we have to, like, part of that includes our records retention policy got to be attached as an appendix, so they just want to ensure that the information they're providing is protected, and it, you know, but this is just to continue what he's doing.
Okay, so he's been doing it before.
Oh, pardon me?
He's been doing this.
Oh, yes,
now,
this
okay.
is just,
No, I was wondering if something new there that we could probably bring on more enforcement of some of the things that we've been dealing with.
right.
But, you know, like, my belief is that if you have a lot of expectations put there,
Yeah.
and you can't follow through on them, then you're really setting yourself up for something that you probably shouldn't have went
Yeah,
in the
no,
first
no.
place. But,
This is just information
right.
that he needs to continue to do the work he's doing.
So the revenues that are obtained from these, right, does that go back to the municipality?
Yes, it does.
No, it was just it just seemed to me that there was some missing information there. Like, it came at us real quick,
Right.
partial document, just a motion. I generally like to read the documentation that comes with it. I didn't see anything come with this one, but it was done in the past, so that gives me a bit
Yes.
more clarification.
And he's been in discussions with digital government now for quite some time, trying to get this all finalized so we can continue to avail of the information that he needs to, I guess, do his job.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Town Administrator, got to, you know, in some cases, is this what the one that got to do with, just say, for instance, is a vacant car down on Water Street. Is a plate on her, but we don't know who the plate is, so he could go into this process and access who owns the car and one thing and that,
Yes, that's one of the things he can do. Yeah.
which is an important thing to do.
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Counselor Mon, motion passed. All right. Well, 1 second now. I just want to remind that May 2nd is the municipal plan review, and it's going to be held on 256 Water Street. Is that correct, the DTO? And that's open to the public? Yes. Yeah, so you can go online and see the time and the date for the event, and we encourage everyone to show up there. This past weekend, our EDTO was into the glacier, I think it was, and had a fine display in there. Lots of people, lots of talking to individuals, and it certainly was worth any expense to get in there and promote our town. It was really good. And also Saturday night I took in the 37th anniversary of the Salvation Army in Carbonear, and they had a nice time, nice meal. It was really good. Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade. No, one other thing. Yes, Thursday night is Volunteer Appreciation Week, or night, so we're going, but you have to register for that, is that correct? Yeah, so you have to pre-register. Again, go on our social media site or on our website if it's up and get the details. So if you want to go, you have to register so that we'll get an idea of how many people are going to be showing up there. I don't think there's anything else that's taking place between now and next week. Yes, just Glimo. Turn your microphone on there.
Maybe I shouldn't say about what I got to say. Mr. Mayor, I also like to thank Kerry for going in. I understand you were in there for a while too. I understand the town administrator was in for a while too. I'd certainly like to thank everybody involved, especially Kerry, for going in there and representing the town in a very positive light. And any time that we could do such a thing like that, we should encourage it. And everybody sitting around these tables should have a spell at it. And it promotes our town, and it makes us proud of our town. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I also like to make a note too that you mentioned that it would probably be a worthwhile event to have some kind of booth at the M&L conference in Gander or wherever it's being held.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I did
That's an
mention
idea.
that, when we go out to conventions, or I think there's some kind of function coming up pretty soon, or is that already done?
In the first week of May, I think it is. Is that right?
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt, we say, to set something up out there too. I mean, I know it's more or less all the towns together, but anytime you're out to a convention or anything like that, it's marvellous to set up that and promote the town of Carbonear.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Noel. Meeting adjourned.